Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review, we're going to be looking at the Takara Japanese exclusive Autobot headquarters from the new Dramatic Capture series. So this particular video is going to be one of 3 of the individual reviews, and then there's also going to be a complete review of the overview of the set as well. The reason why I do this is so you can have a look at each character if you wanted to. I know that some people might not be interested in them, and it's just an easier way rather than doing a huge video with them all involved. So we are going to look at the packaging first and foremost, because as you can see, it's just stunning, and this looks to be something that they seem to be continuing. If you remember, the first Dramatic Capture series was the Nemesis Bridge. We've got this one in front of us, and we also know at the time of making this video there is a triple threat one as well, including more Decepticons. So that is the outer sleeve, which I just love. As I say, it's just a nice bonus. You can see there it's just got Dramatic Capture series, and we've already seen this beautiful artwork. Here is the box. It looks again like a bit of a Generation Select pack, because you can just about make out there you've got Teletran 1, or Mainframe as he is, of course, being the bot. If we spin it round, there's nothing on the back. It's, as I say, it's exactly like a Generation Select box, and if we open this up, we should be able to see them all inside there. So there we go. That is how they come packaged. Beautiful. Okay, so in this video we're going to be concentrating on looking at Optimus Prime. I'm just going to set him free from the packaging and come straight back to you. Here he is then, set free from the packaging, and I'm sure you'll agree he looks stunning. So if you're new to the channel, what I like to do first and foremost is some first impressions. Then we're going to look at the alternate mode. Then we're going to come back for the final time, do some comparisons, and see how we can use his accessories, etc. Before we do this though, although these videos are going to be all completely separate, it still needs to have all 3 of them standing together in one particular scene like that, just to see what the whole set does indeed look like. As I say, I'll do more comparisons in more detail in the individual reviews and later on with the full set, but there they are all together. And as I say, this thing is stunning already. It's a bit of a, it sometimes annoys me that Takara Tomy do these beautiful I suppose premium sort of finish, extra detail in all the deco, because it looks incredible. I'm going to do this again in more detail later, but this was my go-to beforehand. Everybody loves this mold, and still, and rightly so, because it's fantastic. But that was of course the toy deco that I went with, and then now we've of course got this particular mold. They're all fantastic, let's be honest, but it just kind of makes me wish that they'd have done this one a little bit earlier, because of course this one's took, in my opinion, a lot of the shine away from this, purely because how good it is. We can't deny that it is stunning, but it's also nice to get this in these cartoon color deco as well. So if you are unfamiliar with this mold, or if this is going to be your first venture into this mold, it's fantastic, guys. It really is. Look at this. The head sculpt is beautiful. It will go all the way around, it will look up and down, and it's just a different color to the ones that you're used to seeing. The arms will go out like that to give you the full articulation. I just remembered I quickly need to thank In Demand Toys, where I got this from in the UK, and they shipped him to me nice, quickly and safely. This will spin all the way around, the bicep will swivel and it will flex, the wrists will swivel, and there's even some articulation on the fingers. So this figure was a Voyage class figure, but it also made it itself up to a leader class with the trailer, which of course we don't have. There is a waist swivel, but it is restricted by the kibble on the back, but the kibble on the back, it's quite minimal. I mean, look how thin that is. Again, if you have a look at the Commander class, there's quite a bit more up there. So, you know, pros and cons to both of these particular figures. Minimal kibble there. Legs though will kick all the way up. That's a huge range of motion. They won't go that far back again because of this kibble, but it's not too bad. You've got your thigh cuts, which gives you the swivel, your knee bend, your ankle tilt, rock, toe tap, etc. Huge amounts of articulation. And of course we've got the beautiful, I think this is painted even better, I'm not too sure. Again, I'll do a comparison in a second. There's another matrix inside his chest, and it looks stunning. So first impressions, even though I've seen this mold a number of times, I'm still, as you can probably imagine or probably guess, really impressed with it. I can't wait to get him into alternate mode to see what these fuel stacks and everything look like. So indeed, that is going to be the next part of the video. Let's have a look at him in his alternate mode. So here he is in his alternate mode then, and quick apologies, no transformation process on this video. That is once again to keep the main length of the video down. And I've also, if you wanted to, I have uploaded a separate tutorial if you want to see it. So let's start off with looking at it, because again, we've all seen Optimus Prime in his truck mode and it just looks just as good. Let's be honest, I really do think it does. The fact that all the wheels are individually pinned on, which means of course the movement is fantastic with them all. It's such a great mold, it really is. The translucent windows works really well. You can't see all the way through it. You can still access the matrix chamber from there. The Autobot logo on the side looks brilliant. As I predicted, the fuel tanks with the silver look great as well. And of course, if you wanted to, you can put the gun on the back like that, have it that way, or of course you can fold it over on itself and you can also store it like this as well. Either way, I think it tends to work, to be honest. The fact that he doesn't have a trailer, in all honesty, doesn't bother me. I don't think it'll bother many people buying this particular set, because I can't imagine them displaying this particular set in the alternate mode. However, completely, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. This is the normal Earthrise version then, so there's not too much difference when he's in this particular mode. Just a slight difference in the blue, of course, on the legs and in there, but otherwise with this there's not much difference at all. This is looking pretty much exactly the same. So the main difference, of course, on the legs, and a lot more detail when he's in his robot mode. But as alternate modes go, they do look very, very similar. Here's a couple of comparisons with some other figures. That's just, of course, a G1 cab, but it's the Diaclone color blue. Let's bring in a few other figures just to give you an idea, I suppose, of scale and indeed of size. So I've got the Stranger Things van, which was another quite a big Voyager class. Funnily enough, I've got loads of crossovers just in front of me. There's the Jurassic Park figure. Even though it's a Voyager, it's nowhere near as, oh, nearly knocked everything over, as what I would class as this particular guy here. They're one of the Seeker jets. They're huge Voyager class figures, so it's not as big as that at all. And of course, nowhere near as big, even though when he was sold as a trailer, he was sold as a leader class, so nowhere near as big as a leader class 1 either, in all honesty. But again, looks great. You've got 5mm ports on the sides. If you wanted to, you could then attach more weapons, more accessories. I don't know if this one's going to fit here because of the handle. I know it will do, but you can then attach that there and you can get some blast effects, etc. Let me just see if I can find some. Yes, I can. And then, you can have him driving around with this huge cannon, perhaps. Anyway, that's pretty much all I've got to say about this particular mode. We're going to come right back and he's going to be in his robot, and time for some more comparisons and see how his accessories look and work in that mode as well. So we're back for the final time with him in his robot mode, and this is definitely the way that I am going to be displaying him. Just if you were wondering, the instructions have all 3 bots on the same sheet. So yes, if you were looking maybe to buy this and to sell the other bots individually, or if you just wanted to keep him, the instructions unfortunately all come on the same sheet. Right, we've already looked at the articulation, which is great. We've already seen the matrix chamber, but just to remind you guys why this figure, I suppose, was so special, or this particular use of the mold was so special, was the fact that, of course, I can't get this out for some reason. Why can't I get it out? Was because he had the articulated hands, which meant, of course, wow, that's mega stuff. There you go. So I kept rolling just in case that happens to you. You can understand that it is quite stiff, that he could, of course, hold and clasp onto the matrix himself, because you could open up the fingers. So that was something that I think was really cool that they managed to get and to incorporate. Watch me not be able to do it now, but I'm pretty sure that I can get this thumb into here like so, just about, and close the hands. So yeah, you can. That was one of the cool things I remember them being able to do with the Earthrise mold. So you could probably do a little bit better, I have to confess, and I always admit I'm not the greatest at posing figures, but I did just want to show you the fact that he could. So that would probably mean that, let's be honest, it would be much easier, which I should have done in the first place, to hold it above his head like so and do it like that. There you go. It definitely works, and I'm sure you can bring it down. Yeah, you can do it way better. Again, better than me, but I just wanted to show you the fact that you can, of course, do it. Now, these aren't chrome, but they are a nice colour silver, and the same as in here. I just want to check if it's the same as the Netflix version, because that to me looks really, really nice. I was quite surprised when I opened that up at the detail, and it's perhaps my memory's just faded me. Yes, it has. It's no different to the Netflix one. But let's do some comparisons then with, I suppose, in fact, I might as well keep him there. So let's bring in, that is the, as I say, that's the Netflix one. Then we've got, let's bring the Siege one in. So this is the cell shaded Siege, the one that came just before, which again I think looks great. So there we've got a bit of a comparison ongoing there. So in fact, that one looks bigger. I don't know why, but it just does. So let's move him out of the way. I'm going to move him out of the way now, and we're going to go for some more G1 colors. So that is of course retro. There is this, and again we've got this new, it's just crazy how many different variants of Optimus Prime that we can have, and these three, funnily enough, all came out in the same year, never mind all of the rest and the other versions, etc., that we've had from the movies, and indeed from things like this as well, which is crazy. So I'm wondering if we're going to get a missing link in these particular colours as well. I wouldn't be surprised, in all honesty. Right, that's enough of primes. Let's bring in a few other figures. So we've got Overcharge, which was classed as a leader class because there's so much more going on with him there. So that's why he's not as tall as that Optimus. But then we've also got, I've got another Megatron here, funnily enough, who's quite a bit taller, which is just about fitting in. And then I'm just going to bring in a few other random figures that I can just see that are in eyeline, just to bring them in. So there's another sort of Voyager class for you that, funnily enough, was a Megatron mold as well. Now, I know that what I'm about to show you now aren't supposed to scale together, but it's just in case you guys collect different toy lines and you just want to know how big he is. So this is Magic Square. This is New Age, and this is Iron Factory. So as we'd expect, towering completely above all of them, but that's no surprise. And as I say, that was just to give you an idea of how big he was if you didn't collect this particular line of toys. Right, last things to do then is to pop, funny enough, let me bring in a core class. That's one I doctored to make the Skybound Optimus, as I've been calling him. So even though the fingers open up, this will still just slot into the hand, and then you can of course just clasp the fingers around it. To be honest, guys, there isn't really much more to say about him. We've seen this mold quite a lot now. It is a great mold. It does look fantastic, and yeah, it's exactly that. It's just a beautiful version of him. It's just, as I say, a shame that it was perhaps maybe a year or so too late, because I don't think it would have got, or hasn't got, the, I don't want to say dramatic because it's dramatic capture, and I don't want to sound like I'm being cheesy, but I think you know what I mean. I think if this would have been released a year beforehand, or before we'd have seen the Commander class, this would have got a lot more attention than what it's doing now. But either way, I still think it's beautiful, and I'm really impressed with it, and I'm going to keep him on display, especially with this stunning packaging we've got there as well. So there you go, guys. This is rounding up your dramatic capture series Optimus Prime video. Stay tuned for the rest, and of course check out the transformation tutorial if you want to see that as well.